in different reasons. You know, some fights generate more money, some fights can sell more tickets, but this is groundbreaking. Like, I've not seen this kind of attention, this kind of type of media here for this. So when you talk about how big, what determines how big? And for me, how big is something that creates history and a legacy. And in terms of this fight, I don't think there's a fight that I've done that will be remembered as long as this one.
Jake, you mentioned about the women needing to show up and show support. That was something that's very famously happened at Ronda Rousey fights. Do you think we'll see a lot of women in attendance on Saturday or watching at home?
For sure, you know, and I even see it with my fans. I see what they're saying, and I have a lot of female audience, and they're all buzzing about this more so than the men's fights. And they're coming to support in person and buying the pay-per-view. So it's really good to see that. My mom's, you know, flown out here and is more excited than even almost my fight. She loves Amanda, so it's really cool to see the support that this is getting. And yeah, like I said, the women need to support each other on this, because this is going to be a big step forward for women's sport in general.
Eddie, I've got a chance to cover a lot of your fights, and you're always like really excited, but you seem even more excited about this fight. Do you kind of see yourself just saying, you know, forget boxing, just doing promoter, you know, sometime soon?
No, I still have a long way to go, a long road in my own boxing career, a lot to prove. He says I can't become a world champion, and I'm going to become a world champion. So a couple of fights, you know, 7, 8 more fights left. But yeah, I'm more excited for this than my own fights because of how groundbreaking this is, how historic this is, and it's my first time as a promoter, so it's a new experience and it's pretty fun.
Eddie, your reaction to Jake saying he will become a world champion?
Everyone's entitled to have a dream. No, seriously, I'm being serious. I think there's absolutely no way he can beat a world champion and become world champion. But I will say he's improving a lot. He's dedicated to the sport. I don't know how good he is because he hasn't really faced a real fighter yet. It's not his fault. He signed to fight Tommy Fury.
Well, a 5-time world champion in Tyron Woodley's a real fighter.
Mate, he's not a real boxer. He's not, Jake.
Well, I mean, the first skill in MMA is boxing. He won the UFC championship with a right hand.
He's a great UFC
But do you consider Tommy Fury a real boxer?
Yes, but not in terms of ability. But listen. But Tyron
so what
Woodley
defines a real boxer?
A real boxer is someone that is his
journeyman
craft.
like Andy Bishop who have.
Who's Andy Bishop?
Exactly, but he's a real boxer, right?
Yeah,
because anyone can go and get a professional boxing
but what I'm
license.
saying is Usman does not qualify to give you any right to talk about you fighting for a world title, and nor does Tommy Fury actually. But I give you the props, I give you the respect. You're improving all the time, but the proof will be in the pudding. I don't believe. By the way, I've said that I think Jake Paul is better than some fighters, but I don't believe you will ever get close to being a world-class fighter.
I believe that I would beat anybody on your roster that's under 10 fights. Anyone.
Well, we can do that.
Any one of your fighters that has under 10 fights. Easy.
Okay.
So a cruiserweight.
A cruiserweight.
Any weight. Literally any weight.
Okay. So
any weight.
Anyone under 10.
Any weight. I will beat anybody on your roster.
I've got about 400 of them.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Let's run it up.
Chef
no
Clark.
No problem.
Chef
give me your best real boxer.
Okay. Chef Clark.
Give me your best real boxer.
Chef Clark, 1-0, right? Boxed in the Olympics, didn't medal. 1-0, just had one professional fight. He's a cruiserweight. You can have him, and I tell you what, I'll even provide him. Well, actually, let me be careful on the price.
I don't know.
but I'm saying, I've got 5.
Let's do it. No problem. Okay. I already said I'm down. We're betting $1 million. I'm taking on anyone on your roster with under 10 fights. No problem. And that's right now too. Just wait to just give me a couple of years, bro. Ooh, I'm coming for your boy Canelo.
Yeah,
I'm coming for your boy Canelo. That's on God.
Look, I don't think he minds that fight.
He didn't say no.
No.
Canelo didn't say no to a fight with him.
Well, why would he not? That's one of the biggest fights in boxing that can be made.
Payday.
Eddie, Eddie, what was your reaction when Amanda Serrano presented the 3-minute rounds at the announcement press conference?
I thought it was a smart move. I feel like that the fight had been negotiated, and I don't think we need to change anything. But I think in the future, when we look at the elite end of women's boxing, I think it's something we have to look at. But when you introduce a new concept, which was women's boxing, to the fans, something fast-paced is actually good, and I think it's provided a lot of entertainment, but I think we need to continue to evolve.
Eddie, when this was announced, I think it was meant to be on the undercard of Dillian White against Alexander Povetkin in your back garden. Now we have it Madison Square Garden, the main event. You've got a co-main event worthy of being a main event in itself. Does that just come on? Does that show just how far women's boxing's come along?
Yeah, that's a mixture of how far women's boxing have come. That's a mixture of what these girls have given and how their profiles has raised. That's a mixture of Jake and MVP's involvement as well. The way DAZN have been pushing women's boxing, the involvement of the last 6 years that we've worked towards this kind of moment. and it's very, very proud. You know, it's very proud to see these girls get the chance to shine on this kind of stage.
I suppose you're quite happy it fell through now then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eddie, with Clarissa Shields, where would she be in the making with these two fights? I know you mentioned Kate.
Yeah, she's a great fighter. She's a great fighter, but you know, she's.
number 2, or?
I don't know. I don't know about that, but she's a great fighter. But you know, if people talk about other fights for those girls, you know, Clarissa's
Where would
never.
you rate her?
3.
Behind who?
Serrano.
Eddie, how about Tony Bellew for Jake?
Oh, that's a massive fight. Massive fight. He's retired. He's old. You know, he's a former world champion.
Who is he?
Tony Bellew. Cruiserweight,
Sure
former
who he is.
cruiserweight world champion. He was in Creed. You might know him from there.
Is that that's his claim to fame?
No, his claim
He
to
was
fame
in
was
Creed. He was in the back.
Goodison Park.
He was in the
main
back.
character.
He was a
the main
janitor in
character.
the background of Creed.
Have you actually never heard of Tony Bellew?
I think I have heard that name, but I couldn't put a face to it.
Alexander Usyk.
Okay, guys, Andy, that's it.
For the undisputed cruiserweight world championship. But
Usyk beat
Lovely,
AJ as well.
lovely. No, I know who Usyk is, of course. You didn't ask me about that. You asked me about Bellew.
Andy.
Yeah.
Bellew?
Yeah,
Tony
Bellew.
Bellew.
Tony Bellew.
Bellew?
He's a big fan of yours.
This is brilliant.
Is it? Eddie! No, fuck no. Who the fuck is? Why would anyone want to see it? No one wants to see that fight. No offense, to Eddie.
Oh, no,
Dimitri Bivol, like who? Fight Benavidez. Quit ducking Benavidez. Quit ducking Charlo. Canelo's gonna win. Who the fuck is Bivol? Like, let's go.
great
Let's make
fight,
it.
a great
Yeah, well,
undefeated
of
world
course,
champion.
of course. That's your
sure
job.
you could beat him as
That's
well.
your job to promote him. That's your job to promote him. But I will. I'll probably beat him one day.
Eddie,
Just like
what do
all
you
these
think of,
guys. And people think I'm crazy. I am fucking crazy.
You are
That's why
very-
I'm here.
you are.
That's why there's 400 cameras on me, because I'm crazy. I'm entertaining. I believe in myself, and I knock people the fuck out. So guess what? Yeah, I'm fucking crazy. I'm gonna beat whoever the fuck is in front of me and gets put into the ring.
What do you
That's
think
on
of
God. That's on God.
Canelo's ducking Charlo and Benavidez.
Listen, Canelo's resume is second to none. Second to none. All he ever does is fight champions. He's a pound for pound number 1.
But not Benavidez.
Yeah, but because who's Benavidez? Who's he beat? Canelo's, all his last fights have been against champion after champion across divisions after divisions. You can't sit here and criticise Canelo Alvarez. He's one of the great.
But why isn't he giving
the
the fans the fight that the fans want to see?
Of course he is. He's done that
Not
consistently.
Bivol.
This is a great fight. It's a great fight. And I'll even get you a
Not
ticket.
Bivol.
Come on.
Jake, people like to talk about Tommy Fury. Could you let people know how much he cost you in December when he pulled out of that fight financially?
I don't know. I don't really. I didn't keep track of that. You know, like. Who knows? Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, people weren't as excited for the Tyron fight as they were for the Tommy fight, because they had already gotten that product. So yeah, it was hard to change the whole promotion around last minute to Tyron Woodley rematch. But it is what it is. You roll with the punches in boxing and figure it out. And I got a chance to, go back at someone who went 8 rounds with me, and I got the chance to go back in and show that I gotten better in that camp, and I got the knockout.
Just finally on the Bivol fight, you don't think it's a good enough fight for Canelo?
It's good. It might be cool competition, but it's like there's bigger fights, and the fans want to see different shit.